Hi, I'm Carly in British Literature. This video is mainly a summary over Folk Reveals poetry for Group 1. In Part 1, we were asked to describe the dramatic situation. I think a lot of us saw this poem differently, but if we went back and reread it, we would agree that this poem really wasn't about one thing. It's really how the reader interpreted it. I thought of it as a personal problem. I think we all agreed that it really was a personal problem. And it was funny because I saw it as insecurities, but a lot of my group members saw it as dreams, or when you close your eyes, like what you saw. Benjamin said, when we go to sleep, we're forced to see who we really are and the evils within us. I really liked how he said that because I saw it, like, in my mind when I was reading this. I was thinking of, like, when you're home alone and you look in the mirror and, like, you see yourself, and, like, the darkness to me was aloneness. Like, when you're alone, you're with yourself and you really see who you are. Like, there's no one there to judge you. Morgan said, his mind begins to wander and explore different aspects of his life. He's not able to control the thoughts or images of his mind. And that's where I see that we all saw different things. And I really think that when we go back and read it, it all makes sense. Next, we were asked to describe the rhyme scheme. And I guess that stays the same in every poem. It's A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, and then G, G. I think the next part is where it's really tricky in our group, because maybe I did it wrong, but I think we saw it all differently. In line 5, we are given the verb gives, and we're asked to find the subject. I saw it as false alarms to the minds. Benjamin saw it as the eye, and Morgan also saw it like pretty much the same. She saw it as the eye. The next verb is confounds. A group member saw it as powers and sins, and then another one saw it as fears. The next verb is forge and raise in line 8. One saw it as impossibility and self-doubt, and the other one saw it also as fear. In the next part, we are asked to summarize in the few sentences a development of the poem's argument in the quatrains and the couplet. The poem makes the reader feel like it's kind of monsters inside ourselves. I think we all agree that it really was an internal problem, not an external problem. Like, there was nothing on the outside world that was affecting us and giving us that fear or that evil feeling. It really was everything on the inside. We were seeing ourselves. And that's where the couplet, I think, came in and, like, revealed that it was the person that was evil and not really anything external. I really like what Morgan said when she said her sixth sense kicks in and her imagination drives the fear in her soul, which is the wickedness from the devils inside me. That, to me, explained everything, because if you really think about it, like, you lay down at night and your mind just wanders, and it's like, you can't really do anything about it. Like, once your mind gets going, you just have to let it run its course. Last, in part 1, we were asked to describe the theme and the basic paradox informing it. I thought of this as a theme where the person should fear themselves more than they fear the unknown. So, you're in the dark, and there's so many things that could be in the dark, but I think personally you should fear yourself. And the paradox of the poem is that all the evils that we see and believe are external, are really inside of us. Another group member saw the paradox as we don't really have evil inside us, but rather it's our mind playing games with us. It's not an external force, but an internal force affecting us. In part 2, it's just very simple. In part 2, we're asked to find the theme and the paradox. I think the first time I read this, and I think the group members agree that you had to, like, read it twice, because in the end we all agreed that, like, it was a religion thing. Like, we were created by God to be perfect, but at the same time we were created as sinners. Like, we had to choose to be perfect, even though in a way we can never be perfect. But we had to put ourselves on that pedestal to try. In both poems, Folk portrays that people are the biggest paradox. We hate ourselves and we hate the person that we created. However, the person that was created for us to be, we want to be that, but we always have that path. Like, we can choose one or the other. And sometimes we choose one, but we hate ourselves for it because we know we should have chosen the other. But I think it's like basically agreed in this that the theme of the poem is the force of nature against the laws of religion. Like, we have a mind our own, but we were created by one person to have the same mind as Christians. Like, we were supposed to be perfect and not sin, but there's really no stopping us from sinning. Anyways, that was both parts, and that's what our group members all agreed on. And I hope that everybody enjoyed and understood what our group was trying to say.